Welcome to another episode of Step by Step Podcast. Thank you for tuning in today. Glad to have you listening, watching. Thank you guys for the support that you give me. To those who've subscribed, to those who listen to my videos and watch them as well. Thank you for taking your time. It's an honor. Together, we're going to impact this world, guys, step by step. That added subscribe after every episode, or a few added subscribers, I am eternally grateful to you guys. So keep that spirit going. I hope you enjoyed this one as well. You like, share, subscribe. So we're almost getting to Women's Day. It will be on Friday, the 8th of March 2024, International Women's Day. The theme for this year is Inspire Inclusion, meaning that women should be included, inclusivity in all spheres of life. In a quest to achieve gender equality, we must include women in all the different spaces: social, political, religious, cultural. We as women demand that we must be heard. We are not just there to be seen, we must be heard. Our voices must matter. The issues that affect us must be taken care of, so that we are able to sit at the table and contribute. So I don't know if I've said this before on this podcast, but writing is one of my passions. There was a time in 2021 where I ensured that I wrote weekly. Every week I'd share something on my Facebook page on a wide range of social issues: love, a little bit of politics, identity, a wide range of social issues, mental health. And it's something that I'm very passionate about. I think I would need to go back to. I think passion is one thing, but you must fuel it. You must constantly update yourself in whatever field that is. So I think I noticed that one of the things that made me stop writing as much is when I reduced my reading. So in 2024, I'm pushing myself to read more. Currently, I'm reading a book by, is she Brianna West? Yes. It's called The Mountain Is You. And it is a nice book. So I challenge you, if you've been planning or purposing to read more this year, this is the time. 2 months down the line, the year is running very fast. So pick that book. Go to these vendors in the streets. There are many books you can get affordably. There are online books as well. I'm in a forum where Christian books and motivational books are shared. So there is no excuse, guys. If you want to read, go get something off the shelf and start reading. You can even start with the Bible or a religious book. But whatever you do, always ensure at any given point you're constantly updating yourself. You have to build on what is here, and there's no way you can build other than to read. I know you tell me watching. There's a lot of value in watching as well, so long as you're watching the right things. But there is a place for reading, so ensure you read. There is so much you get from reading. You'll realize, even without anyone telling you, your vocabulary is sharpened, your perspective is sharpened, you build on the ideas. Sometimes you want to contribute to a discussion and then you have a point, but it's not coming because you don't have the words to support it. So reading updates your vocabulary. Okay, there is so much I can say about reading, but that's not the focus for today. So I want to read you something that I wrote in 2021 about the things I hate being a woman. And I know many women can relate, so I want to share them. I thought I would share now that we are almost getting to Women's Day. Here are a number of things I hate. I wrote this in March 2021. 3 years ago already, can't believe it, on 3rd March 2021. Here are a number of things I hate. I have worn the shoes of different women as well. Number 1, I hate it that I can't go for a walk at night to clear my head. Now, I know for many of us, walking is very therapeutic. Just taking a stroll, especially when it's not too hot and there's a slight breeze, there's just a calming effect that nature has. And especially in the evening, since probably the sun is setting and it is not too hot, that breeze hitting your skin. It's very calming. I find it very calming, especially if you're walking along a path that has trees. The feeling is amazing. But unfortunately, it's not a feeling that I can enjoy often. Why? Because one, the world is so unsafe, and everyone is unsafe, men, women, but how much more for a woman? I'm very scared. I just think the number of crazy things that have happened to me. Granted, I think I might have a bit of trauma because there was a time I was robbed at night when I was a student. I was walking in the evening along the road and someone just came and snatched my bag and I was left there very petrified. So it might be a bit of trauma, but I know women relate. There's nothing much you can do at night. Sometimes I see women walking and just being very active at night and I'm like, wow, I wish I had that spirit. But largely it's unsafe and many of us can't do it. And isn't it unfair that we can't do it and it's not our fault? Sucks. Number 2, I hate it that I can't tell the true intention of that gentleman that I had good chemistry with in a professional setting. I thought he was impressed with my capabilities and would help me in my career path, but, well, maybe not. Guys, this feeling sucks. When you're in a corporate setting or a job setting and you strike some good conversation with someone, have very enlightening conversation, and then at the end of it, you get a high at weird times of the night or a follow-up conversation that is nothing professional, and you're just like, damn, you thought this person was seeing you for the admirable professional that you are, for the hardworking nature that you have. As women, we try to put ourselves out there, work really hard. You have to work really hard to get that recognition. So sometimes when you think you have finally got it, it is very unfortunate that you discover someone is just after something else. They may appreciate what you have to offer, but they can't leave it at that. Men, please. Sometimes we just want you to appreciate us for our abilities and the good job that we can do, and let's just leave it at that, period. Number 3, I hate it that society has an opinion on what I should wear so that I do not offend public morality. My dress, my choice was a big conversation a few years back in this country. And I believe we're at a better place. I think people are more educated, if I may use that word, about women living life on their own terms. We might not be where we wanted to be, but some stern measures. Some of the people who did crazy things were given some long sentences, and that served as a good example. So guys, we are not going back on that. Let us not go back on the strides we've made. I know we're not where we'd like to be. Sometimes you still experience the catcalling when you wear certain things, which is unfortunate. But let us not tire in educating people that whatever a woman decides to wear is her business. You have no business as a man, as a fellow woman. It's her choice. Number 4, I hate it that there are voices everywhere telling me what is wrong with my body and what I can do to make it perfect. Now this I'll say as a woman who has experienced being smaller and gaining weight. Now I'm on the thicker side of the scale. Proudly thick. Thick thighs save lives, right? So I know sometimes being a bigger woman might make you lose a bit of your confidence. I know my smaller sisters might share the same sentiments, but I think bigger girls bear a bigger burden. I don't know if that's true, you'll tell me. So there is a standard, we all know the standard that has been set everywhere we look, social media, on TV, the celebrities. There's no standard, guys. Your body is perfect as it is. It feels cliche, but it is. Your body is perfect. You're lovely, you're beautiful, just the way you are. That doesn't mean that sometimes you don't want to be at a better place. It is okay. Sometimes I think I need to eat better. I need to be more active. I need to do a lot more about my body. But that's okay because I want to be at a healthier place. That's okay. But what I have learned as I get older, that's the beautiful thing about getting older, there is some natural confidence that you get. Because now I understand my body has taken me through so much. My body carries me, every single day. So the least that I can do is appreciate it. I might want to be at a different place, but I'm no longer harsh. I do not look at the mirror and feel very sad. No. My body is beautiful. I'm beautiful just the way I am. Number 5, I hate it that my gender is often reduced to support physical appearance and motherly capabilities. Now let me be clear, none of these things are bad. Being a support system, for example, or supportive part of anything is not a bad thing. But the thing is, by virtue of me being a woman, does not mean that I cannot be a leader. Women are great leaders. Women make great leads in different spaces that I've been in, whether it's in the corporate world, whether it is in social activities, initiatives. Women make good leaders. So you should not really get a whole gender to support just because you think women cannot be leaders. We have many good examples of women leaders, tried, tested, proven. So there is no reason that in 2024 we should be questioning whether a woman can make a good leader. Physical appearance, I think I've spoken a bit to that. Motherly capabilities. Being a mother is great. Having the unique ability to carry a baby in your body, that nurturing nature that God has given to us as women is amazing. But I am beyond just what my reproductive capabilities put me. So being a mom is great. It's one of the greatest jobs. Hats off to all moms. Besides celebrating women, let us celebrate moms times 2. Moms are amazing. But we're a lot more than just moms. We have a lot more to offer than just children. Number 6, I hate it that my decision to not have kids is frowned upon and considered selfish because there must be something wrong with me. Guys, I don't know if you can say this enough, but a family is complete with kids. A family is complete without kids. Sometimes people do not have kids because of circumstance. Other times, women do not have kids out of choice. And that is perfectly fine. Whatever a woman decides to do with her body, that's her business. I think so long as you and the person you're with, if you're in a relationship, agree, then that is perfect. Because I do not think it's fair also for you to enter a relationship or marriage when the other partner has a certain expectation of what a family should be, and you deny them that opportunity, knowing well you had the chance to tell them this before and you didn't. That is not fair. I think these are some of the things that people need to agree on when they're deciding to enter a long-term relationship or a marriage. How many kids do you want? Do you want them at all? What are your views about parenting? And I believe that's also the place of premarital counseling. And it shouldn't just be months or weeks to the wedding when people have already made a choice. No, it should be done well in advance so that you make a well-informed decision once you decide to settle with this person. And once you decide to be with a woman who has decided she does not want to have kids, then accept that decision. And I know sometimes our feelings are fluid. So I think there needs to be a lot of understanding on both parties. You might get into a union when you as a woman do not want to have kids, and then that changes over time. Because for some people, they don't want to have kids. Never. But for some, you're like, maybe not at this point, or I may or may not have. That is still okay. Let us not discriminate or judge people based off the choices they make. I think also that motherhood and parenting is such a serious responsibility, and it is not something that you need to do just because it's automatic. Just because you meet a man, then the next thing is for you to continue your lineage and things like that. I'm not saying that's irrelevant, but I'm saying think really hard before you decide to have kids. At the same time, I understand that sometimes people get pregnant and get kids unplanned, and that is okay. But I'm saying if it is with intention, be very intentional, or even if it happens without you planning to, be very intentional about the kind of parent that you're going to be. Set your priorities right, whether it's finances, emotional. Invest in what will make you a great parent. Number 7, I hate it that if I choose to be a housewife and raise my kids, I am suddenly not a feminist or a weak one. I know this is a very hot topic. I will have a whole episode. I think I should have a whole episode discussing feminism, because I think feminism is one of the most misunderstood things in this 21st century. Because to me, my definition of feminism is equality of the sexes. So whichever endeavor promotes equality of the sexes, that's feminism. I am a feminist at heart. Sometimes people think that conflicts with me being a faith person, a spiritual person, a religious person, but I do not think so, because what is feminism? Equality of the sexes. So supporting all causes that advance that cause. And I know the challenge sometimes that we have is there are different classes of people. There's the radicals. The radicals are great because they shake things, they make people take notice. There are different branches of feminism as well. We should do a whole episode on feminism. But there's some classism sometimes, even in this initiative and many others. But there's no what? As in short, I do not believe in classism. So the fact that you're rocking it in your work life, or you're this political leader, does not mean you're any much better than that woman who has made a conscious decision to stay at home, nurture her kids, ensure her family is okay. It's all about decisions. Though sometimes I always think also, before you make that decision to be a housewife or to be a full-time parent to your kids, be very sure that your finances are in check, because we live in very difficult times. So also, you might have a partner, but they may lose that job. Things are tricky, but I know it is possible. So just ensure you're doing it for the right reasons and with all the right information at hand. Number 8, I hate it that my reproductive health rights are put in the hands of the public as if I share my body with them. I think many of these points have an aspect of body autonomy. The last thing that I'll say about that is whatever happens to a woman's body should be her choice. Once you're in a relationship or once you're in a marriage, there's those decisions that you'll have to make with your partner. But even then, prioritize yourself. You're responsible for your body and what happens to it. And no one should shame you for the decisions that you choose to make. Now, sometimes I know it's the law and many other things, but my stand on the matter is whatever happens to a woman's body should be her decision to make. Number 9, I hate it that I put a lot of effort to be excellent in everything I do, only to later get comments on beauty upon success. It's not a crime to be beautiful. Attractive women, good for you. Successful, attractive women, good for you that you're not only hardworking, but you're also beautiful. I mean, God just thought you need that extra flavor, and it's okay. I do not like it when I see very capable women based off their conversations and contributions to society, and then you hear, ooh, and your beauty can get you places. I'm like, are we just going to allow all this woman's achievements to take second place to her physical appearance? Absolutely not. And now, ladies, if you want to wear makeup and look good, good for you. If you want to show off your amazing figure, good for you. So long as you've put in the work, you deserve it. But as society, please, let us not downgrade the accomplishments or the strides that women have made just because they are beautiful. Is it a crime to be beautiful? No. Thank you. Number 10, I hate it that when I speak my mind or defend what is right, I am called a feminist with an insult connotation. That's again the misconception that I'm saying about feminism. That people think feminism is a group of angry, bitter women who are raging a war against men. Far from it. Feminism is just a group of people, not only women, men, women, people across the divide, different places in the world, who have decided that because historically and even presently in different spaces, women have been discriminated, or women have not had the chance to fully participate in all activities or in all areas that affect their lives, they have decided that they want to champion that women get their full rights. So if you believe in that, you are a feminist. And there's also a lot of intersectionality when it comes to feminism, because at the core of human rights is to defend those rights that every human being has by virtue of them just being human. So I think that episode on feminism should come. Number 11, I hate it that millions of us go through sexual violence, yet we are not doing enough to deal with this problem. I know the laws are there. In Kenya, we have the Sexual Offences Act, and sometimes people are conflicted whether some of the punishment or sentences for certain offences are too harsh. And we can have conversation about different things with regard to the Sexual Offences Act, but largely I think it is very unfortunate. I know many people who have experienced sexual violence. Let me tell you a small story. There was a time I was coming from school. At this time I was a student, and I'd left school quite late at night. So I was walking through town, going home to get a matatu to take me home. Then as I was crossing the road, a man, a grown man, just took his hand and groped one of my breasts. And it's not a place that you can stop, because it's this very thin streets in town where you just cross very quickly because there's cars passing as well. That thing was horrifying, and you can't stop. Like, I'm a Peter, he's already gone, you know. But I felt so violated, and he smiled. I saw him smile as he passed, and I think the reason he smiled is because he knows he can get away with it. I mean, in this sort of space, what will happen? I felt very violated. And I'm not saying that sexual assault or certain level of violence does not deserve attention or is less traumatizing, but I just think about the women who've experienced rape, the girls who've experienced defilement. How much worse do they feel? It is very unfortunate. That one also gets me a little emotional because of some other experience I've had, but maybe I'll share it sometime. Number 12, I hate it that the potential of many girls is wasting away because access to education and other basic necessities is a luxury. Now, I thank God being where I am, because I am a woman who has gone to school just like any other man, who's had access to many things just like any other man. But I realize that this is not the same story for many women across this country and even in the world, that there's still places where women do not go to school. Let's say girls do not go to school because they're experiencing their monthly periods, and you do not have the money to afford pads that will take you throughout the cycle. Can you imagine how unfortunate that is? And well, let that big up to those organizations. I know a number of organizations who are now teaching girls in such needy places to use recyclable pads. Different NGOs and organizations as well also distribute pads, or they're distributing other things to needy children. But it is very unfortunate that access to certain basic things is still a dream for many girls. I don't know what you think, guys. What is the solution? Is it our leaders that we should be holding accountable for these things? Whew. Number 13, I hate it that men intentionally ignore my opinion when discussing serious issues, even when I have better ideas. Those who have been mansplained to, I know sometimes you can relate, but I want to encourage you ladies. I know someone who told me this point, but I want to tell you that personally, I ensure I do the best that I can. You know, when you're good at something, no one can question you. No one will think, oh, this woman can't say anything. When what you're saying is valid, it makes sense, it is well researched. So continue doing your job, ladies. Just work hard, and no one will have an excuse. No one will have even the option of ignoring you, because what? You know your stuff. Number 14, I hate it that the world will always find a place for hate and discrimination. It's unfortunate that as the human race, we must always find a way to divide ourselves. If tribe is not a factor in that place, you'll find gender is. If gender is not a factor, religion is. Let's just share positivity, unity, peace. We can coexist peacefully. Number 15, I hate it that some people are so ignorant that they have a lot of energy and time to fight women instead of being a part of making the world a better place for everyone. So that one I've edited, it was feminism, sorry. I thought we've said a lot about feminism. Then lastly, I wrote a paragraph saying, I would love to live in a free world with equal opportunities and freedom to make choices and have them respected. The answer may lie in Marxist feminism because economic empowerment is on a pedestal of this world in empowering women. I know there are many other things that women hate. So tell me, women, what are those things you hate about being a woman? That you feel you're unfairly treated just because you're a woman? And to men, what do you think about the things that I have said? I want to rope you in this conversation. I recently attended a forum on gender and leadership, a professional setting. And we were saying that it is very important to have male champions, because the only way that this cause can be successful is if men are involved as well. Let's stop looking at this as a woman's conversation. It is a conversation that all of us need to take part in. So male champions, karibuni. On this podcast, you're very welcome. It is not weak, you're not a simp, and nothing like that for supporting women. You need strong women in your life. Strong women ensure that we have a strong society. They make strong wives, they make strong mothers, they make strong colleagues, they make a strong support system. So why would you not want strong women? And to the women, it is our time. Let's rise up. Opportunities are out there for us. All you need to do is put the work, have the faith, and just put yourself out there. Those opportunities are coming. So as we celebrate International Women's Day, happy International Women's Day to all women and to all members of society. Let us ensure that women are included in all spheres of life. Thank you.